Dr. Jan White returns with us this Wednesday morning. How are you?
Great, so good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Thank
You've been
you.
traveling and having a good time, so that's okay too.
Okay.
Yeah, you came in this morning and I told you, that Boss Hill had passed away, and you said, yeah, you heard about that, and that was actually part of your topic.
It is. I was reflecting on, what
Yeah.
that contribution he made not only to the community in North Alabama, but we can learn a lot about him for successful aging.
Talk about giving back too.
Oh, yes. So today's topic is the 5 things that Boss Hill taught us about successful aging.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, he was 88 when he died.
Correct.
So he was in his mid-60s when he started these goat stew events. So what he taught us...
So he was retired, more than likely.
Right. And so what he taught us is that it's never too late to get an idea going.
Good point.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
So you're retired and you're sitting around with your buddies and you're thinking about having an event. Do it.
Obviously he has
Just
the energy
do it.
to do it.
That's right.
The means
and
to
the
do it.
desire. And so just do it. So what he taught us is it's never too late to start a new project.
Gotcha.
Number 2, he taught us not to let our disabilities hold us back.
He taught us
not to let our disabilities hold us back, because the last couple of years he was in a wheelchair.
Now we have some video this morning from 2004, and we're going to play just a little bit. And he was still in good health here, but you're right.
Yeah.
The last several years he was in a wheelchair, and
That's
he continued on.
And he greeted everyone.
Yeah.
He was amazing. So he didn't let that hold him back. And the next thing he taught us was have people over and socialize.
There was no larger social, look at that. There are people everywhere. They come from all over. Everyone's talking. We'll see Boss coming up here in a little bit.
Right.
From music to everything. Great.
Right. So invite people into your world. Now, I understand there was anywhere from 400 to 1,500 people.
Okay.
It didn't matter. He didn't panic that he had 400 to 1,500 people.
That's right.
And often, we won't have people in because we're afraid, the house doesn't look good something's wrong with the house. Well, he just did it out in the front yard. It didn't matter.
Sometimes it was muddy. Sometimes you spilled something on your shirt.
Exactly.
It didn't matter.
And it was sometimes windy, and you didn't know if that tent was going to blow down. But, we did it anyway, and he always welcomed us with open arms. So he taught us a lot about socializing. And, there were people there bringing instruments and dancing, people who during the week could barely get around, and yet they were there dancing and singing.
It was a great event. People, look at people are parked everywhere. And up until these last years, Boss wasn't always in a wheelchair, but, he did get in his wheelchair and drive around there. And
exactly. So invite people into your world. That was the 3rd thing he taught us. The 4th thing he taught us was eat dessert first. Life is short. And the dessert tent was always a big event because, not only the goat stew and the chicken stew and the half, I call sissy stew, but, I started going over to the dessert tent first.
That was my favorite place.
Yeah, I thought, what the heck, today's a special day. So life is short, eat dessert first.
Good, and that's what I stopped because I wouldn't eat the goat stew, so I'd go to the dessert table. And all you ladies that prepared desserts, absolutely wonderful.
Some of those meringue pies with that mile-high meringue, oh my gosh, that was fantastic. That was too good to pass up. And last but not least, cognitive slowing is normal. So we talk about, losing your memory, but no, you're not really losing it. It's in the hard drive, but it takes longer to get out.
Yeah.
Well, Boss admitted in his later years that he was having some memory problems. So in my research, I found an interesting quote.
Okay.
He said, "My memory's kind of bad, so I don't remember some folks, but I'll talk to anybody whether I remember them or not." So see, he didn't let that cognitive slowing hold him back in any way. He just greeted everybody with open arms, said, "Welcome, are you having a great time?" Isn't that wonderful? See, we have learned so much from this man.
We have. There have been so many great people here in Limestone County. And you kind of think, okay, when people retire, a lot of times don't they just become recluses, and then you hear shortly later they're passing?
You don't know what to do, and they get bored. Well, see, we need to hold him up as an example of successful aging. Here is what this man achieved after he had worked his whole life.
Yeah.
And he had had a pretty hard life, you know. He went through the Depression as a child and
Lost his wife.
yes, and so it was not an easy life all the time. But what an amazing contribution he made, not only to North Alabama, but to aging in general.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't some other goat stews started around and giving advice too.
Oh, I'm hoping.
Well, Dr. Jan White, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Very interesting.
You're
All
welcome.
right, well, we are going to share a little bit more of that video with you this morning. Go to that. You may see some people that are no longer here other than just Boss in this video, so hope you enjoy. We'll be back after this.